Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bedpost Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Erin Pym. Here at the podcast, I like to invite guests and performers from my stage show that I run here in Toronto and beyond into the studio to indulge me in a more in-depth conversation about sex and sexuality. This week, I have some very sexy, horny guests. Please welcome to the mic, Eli and Deb from Unicorn Collaborators. You are the curators, the queerators, the creators, the manufacturers. You do all this stuff.
We do all
Yes,
this.
indeed.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited to actually talk to you on the podcast because I talk about you on the podcast a lot.
Our ears burn often.
Hard and often. Why don't you guys start by just kind of telling everyone who you are?
Well, my name is Debbie, and we're Unicorn Collaborators. Eli and I met like 6 or 7 years ago.
How do y'all meet?
Yeah.
Through a friend. And Eli was dating, and she's a good friend of mine, so we met, and then I was looking for a job, and the place that Eli was working was looking for a seamstress.
Yep. So then I told Deb that there was a job coming up, and she applied, and of course got it because she's an amazing sewer. And then
So you have a past with sewing. Yeah. And
Yep.
you did as well, obviously. You were
Well,
working at that job.
I was working at that job, but not as a sewer. I was working as an assembler and kind of in every realm except for sewing. So I've been working with leather since the mid-90s.
Was that a leather place?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So you guys started working together at someone else's leather place 6 or 7 years ago. Okay, amazing.
Yeah. And then the Erotic Arts and Craft Fair came up, and Eli was like, hey, we should do this.
some stuff.
Like make some stuff
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had the chops of putting stuff together, and I had a few designs on the go.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the sewing skills, and Debbie had
the
the sewing
sewing
skills. So the two unicorn horns came together and made magic. And that was
What's so funny?
that
Okay.
was our first show.
That's amazing. What's so funny is your logo has 2 unicorns. And they're like this. They're little horns.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I have my posters up at work and I've got your logos on them. And she always sees that little logo and she goes, "Oh, I want to touch tips."
Yeah, well,
I want to touch. She's adorable, kawaii, adorable. And okay, so did you guys immediately was there chemistry to your friendship when you worked together? Were you like, oh, I see you when you work together?
Yeah,
we often describe ourselves as litter mates.
Litter mates. Explain. Do tell.
Mother, what is it? Brothers from another mother.
Yeah, siblings from other litters.
Yeah.
It was,
Litter mates.
When I met Eli, I kind of like, this weirdo is like family, and it was just kind of like we're unicorns, and
We pick up what the other puts down, as it were.
Totally, and it was just something that we worked together well, and I don't think we've ever had a disagreement about anything.
Well, sometimes you're kind of bossy.
I am.
But I don't mind that.
You are siblings. You are litter siblings.
Oh, yeah.
So there can be some disagreements.
It works. Our personalities work very well together.
Yeah.
I find. It's
Aw.
great.
Eli helps when I'm a little over emotional and uppity.
And when I'm feeling a little bit oh, it's okay, let's just chill out, Debbie's like, Eli,
We got a
come on.
deadlines.
Snap to it.
We got shit
I'm
to
like,
do.
okay.
So tell me so when you that very first erotic arts and crafts fair, what did you make? Did you collaborate? You said you had designs, Eli?
Yeah, I had
So what did you make together for the first time?
What did we have? We had our double duty cuff.
Okay,
Sure,
so
which
I mean,
is something
And
that,
this is Eli's design.
yeah, this is something I've been making since I don't know, 2000 or something.
And I mean, not that our podcast listeners and watchers haven't seen this demonstrated 1,000 times, but why don't you give us a little rundown of how this exactly works?
So it's a very fetching wrist cuff.
It's gorgeous,
that
little
one
bracelet.
Can wear pretty much anywhere. you
Yep.
know. Double strap. People will compliment you on it. But should you need it, it
Folds
turns into
out.
handcuffs.
Yeah, the second cuff kind of folds out, and then just slip your other hand in there. Have someone
Exactly.
else snap it up,
And this pair is too big for me, so I can just slip it right on. But it does.
Oh hey, hey girl.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
oh, no.
I'm in a
I'm
predicament.
trapped.
Whatever shall I do?
So a little bit of bondage on the go.
Exactly.
Stealthy.
A little bit
Stealthy.
of kink in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can literally wear it to the office.
Yeah, you
and
can
no
wear
one
it.
would know.
It's discreet. Yeah,
Very.
yeah. I'm also wearing one. Yep.
I noticed. The gold looks amazing.
Oh, the gold is gorgeous, and
let me out of this?
I feel like no, don't do it, Deb.
I can slip out of it
not
anyway.
yet. Shh, not yet. What I love about the metallic leathers is it kind of gives more of like a jewelry kind of a feel. So like this really looks like a little bracelet, right?
Yeah.
But the devil, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can dress it up, you can dress it down.
Yeah. So this was one of the first designs you came up with? Way back in the day?
Way back in the day when I still was living in Halifax.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what types of just these for that first show? A bunch of these?
No.
We had
more
bondage
things.
belts.
Oh hell no. No.
Oh, no. We had bondage belts, which I forgot to bring one today.
What is that generally?
Bondage belts, so it just looks like, regular belt that you can wear. Just every day. It's
Okay.
like kind of
Normal
like
belt.
the double duty cuff. And so we had some were like all black, but some also had like just a little chunk of color in it.
A little color
and-
blocking situation. Yeah.
And out of like cool leathers that were kind of just lying around. So we did those, and then we had some like just regular cuffs, like bondage cuffs.
So the bondage belts.
Yes.
How does that kind of convert into a?
Well, they're actually an old cowboy design that the cowboys would use on cattle drives or whatever if they were out on the range. And at night, they don't want
my.
their horses to wander off. So they would hobble their horses with their belt. There's 2 extra rings on the belt, so it's not just one long strip of leather. It's got the buckle and then a ring and then about a 12-inch piece and then another ring and then a long piece with all the holes in it.
Okay.
So you essentially thread the long piece through the 2 rings, forming a figure 8.
Yes.
And if you can kind of picture it in your mind, then you could, if you're a cowboy, put one of the
kinky
figure 8
pervert.
loops.
And I am.
Put one of the figure 8 loops around one
hoof.
front leg and the other one around the other front leg. Adjust the length so that the horse can walk but can't run. So it can't run away.
Damn, it can slowly walk
It
away.
can slowly walk away, and it can graze,
Yeah, it can do its thing. Yeah.
And the cowboys around with their shotguns or rifles to fend off predators, so
Right.
the horses are pretty safe.
Yeah.
But it's an old design that then became
So-
a great kinky design.
Yeah. So how does that work when it's a person then for a bondage belt? How would that?
It's quite versatile.
Oh, quite.
actually.
Oh, actually.
Yes.
Perhaps Debbie can continue the explanation.
Well, it can be used to cuff somebody with their hands behind them or to their sides, or ankles that you can, if you can hold the person's feet up, and get in to all the
Access.
all the access, all the
Yeah.
damp parts,
Or
and
an arm binder. It
Yeah.
can work as an arm binder as well.
Yeah.
Behind or in front.
Yeah.
Or a
And-
collar and leash.
yeah,
If,
Damn.
If you're in a pinch.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point in a pinch.
in a pinch.
I feel like at some point we need to get that on the podcast and actually show all the different ways.
yes,
Because it sounds like 10 toys in one.
it is, and
Yeah.
like if you're wearing your cuffs, your double duty cuffs, and you're wearing your bondage belt, like you have a whole setup.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
A whole bondage set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
You
with
know?
those 2 items.
Yeah, walking
God.
through the forest, and you're like, hey, let's have a
know
little
how I
fun.
feel like. I gotta ask, are all these things tested?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Are there like, have you ever come across something that you've like tested and you're like, not quite, let's tweak this? Like, is there kind of a trial and error to kind of coming up with a design and honing the exact product?
Yeah. Like,
Always.
like we make sure things not only look nice,
Yes.
but they're practical and they're easy to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes, when you're designing something, you're thinking of all the different aspects of the design.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're thinking more aesthetic than practicality.
Yeah. Then utility.
And then utility.
Yeah.
And then so you like kind of play with it a bit, because if something looks great, that's great. But if it's like not going to work properly, it's a bit of a boner killer. Like,
yeah.
just so...
And that's the whole idea, is that they're like, these are gorgeous pieces, but they're not just gorgeous pieces.
It's important that they're not like too fiddly to get on and off.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
That's one thing. What else? Yeah, just ease of use.
Yep.
Because speaking of boner killers, like trying to get something unbuckled or unsnapped or wriggled on and it's just not working, it kind of... The moment is gone.
Yeah, it can dissipate a little bit. Yeah. I feel like when I get tied up, that's like the moment to like decompress about our day, because, it's like she's bored.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like it's like not quite get started yet. Let's be like, how are you? This can be our moment to catch up, because it takes a while.
Well, exactly.
Like, and if you're using just rope, like you don't have fancy, lovely stuff like this. If you're using just rope and you're like putting someone on a bench with it, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like your products are like a way to, kind of skip that step of like, you could get them right in the door and just get started right away. You don't have to.
Or you can like...
Nobody has to talk.
Yes. Attach them to what you need to attach them to, and then get out the rope.
Yes.
While they're in their predicament and thinking about their predicament.
And I do.
Oh no, I'm in a predicament.
Oh goodness, something's gone wrong. Love the mind fuck of like something's gone wrong mid-play.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So okay, let's go through another one of your designs here then.
Well, I just have one more thing. Now, Eli came up with this idea. So we have these super tiny cuffs, because we had people who are being like, oh, my wrists are too small.
Oh, too small
I
and
can never
dainty, so
find
small.
something. And we're like, okay, well, these are pretty small.
That's very small.
Yes, very small. But Eli also came up with the idea of using this for cock and ball torture.
I mean,
or like tie up. Or,
bondage.
Yeah, and
triple duty.
Yeah, it's a triple duty cuff. And then our friend and yours, Luna Batatas.
Yes.
The large ones. Now, this isn't the largest of the large, but she suggested that using the large ones for ankle.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I thought of the same thing, because you gave me, at one point, you gave me a bunch of different sizes of these double cuffs.
Right.
Ranging from, this to, I think, even larger than this. Then
that.
I'm like, this would go on my ankles, no problem. Like, I'd probably need even smaller for my ankles. So, like, you could have a real fun evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love, it's true about, you're saying for like a cock ring, because there are lots of leather cock rings and testicle rings out there.
Yeah.
And if you get one that's like a double one, where one's at the base of the shaft, one's over the whole package or what have you, or just a double over. Yeah. You can do it multiple ways. This is basically exactly what you get when you're buying one, from whatever sex shop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why not?
And I mean, you can use the other sizes of double duty cuffs for cock and balls as well.
Yeah.
It just depends on the size.
It
Right?
does. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Size for everyone. And that's a good thing to mention.